This crossover is set in my rewrite universe, so like if you don't know about that, watch it as we adapt Go Buster versus Gokaiger and something else. We open with Scrozzle in prison until Captain Chaku just lets him go. Meanwhile, this is set after Beast Morphers, so Devon is the commander of Grid Battle Force. And they hired some new people like Jailza for defense and Steve of Triforia, who's going to help Nate create some new Rangers. Steve's already helped create a new Beast bot out of spare parts named Croaker. We'll also see like an Orange Ranger helmet. No one's going to become them, it's just a tribute. But this is cut short because the facility's under attack. The Rangers head in. They meet the two main antagonists, nephews of Emperor Mavro, cousins of Akar and What's-His-Face, co-emperors of the new Zangyak, Marvac and Veyron. Veyron's good with a sword, but Marvac is more good with his brain, especially because he's always chugging down some of his root beer. They introduce themselves, say they ain't got a chance, but they also reveal a big twist that the Pirate Rangers are working for them and are dressed like stereotypical pirates. What gives? They morph and fight the Grid Battle Force. They and Steel defeat Orion, who seemingly starts sparking when he demorphs. What? But there's no time to question because they gotta go in their Megazord and deal with giant bruisers. As the rest meet up, the pirates go Atlantis Ranger and uses their tassels to electrocute the rest. Then they go Time Force and hit them with their finishers, so GB Team power up, but the pirates hear about Orion and escape. Navi flies in asking for help from the Grid Battle Force, then they capture her. It really wasn't necessary because they explain what happened, explaining that the pirates for the last 6 years have been fighting remnants of the Zangyak and they finally made it to their capital of Zang. But then they were surprise attacked by Captain Chaku from behind, causing the Red Galleon to crash. They were surprised and were ambushed by Zangyak forces, and captured by Captain Chaku, replaced by robots. And Navi hid away on the repaired Red Galleon to try and find any rangers that could help. Zoe immediately recognizes that's kind of the same thing that happened to Blaze and Roxy being replaced by robots, and questions why Captain Chaku would turn on the pirates. And Nate remembers they took out the robot Orion. Steel, still being new to being human, kind of questions the internal organs of a human compared to a robot. What do you mean humans don't typically spark when they're hurt? But Nate says he'll explain later, and Navi has to explain about the pirates. Navi quickly explains the events of Pirate Armada and the Ranger Keys, saying that the pirates are being held on Earth because the Zangyak planned to blow up the Earth. And Devon knows just how to do this. Meanwhile, Scrozzle's with the new Zangyak, and they don't really care about the Uncle Emperor or Vakar. They're here because they want to destroy the planet for destroying their empire. And of course, Scrozzle was the one that built the pirate robots, and he's even rebuilt the Reanimizer, resurrecting Roboblaze. They're quickly joined by Captain Chaku, who takes off his helmet, revealing he's a new cyborg named Maku. Roboblaze questions who he is, and he explains that he's the new Captain Chaku, explaining that he's helping the Zangyak because he's going to make a load of money because of them. Especially because him and Marvac hired someone to be an inside guy at Grid Battle Force to send them all the Morphex, before they used some of it to blow up the planet. Meanwhile, the actual pirates are in prison, and like Donnie somehow had a harmonica snuck in, until Marvelous takes it and tosses it out of the cell. Which Donnie yells at him, "Why are you so upset? I know we're in jail, but I'm at least trying to make people happy." So Marvelous explains he's upset because Captain Chaku was the one to capture them. Back when he was a kid, the Red Corsairs were attacking a cargo ship for the Zangyak, but the bomb went off way too early and he was separated from the rest of the crew. And who's there to rescue him? Captain Chaku. He was the one who was actually there to catch him when he fell, and assured him that everything's going to be okay, returning him to the Red Corsairs, saying that they're doing a good job. Donnie apologizes and just like turtles in a corner, until a totally not familiar face and a totally real beard arrives, and he sneaks a legendary morpher and the silver legendary morpher into the cell, saying sorry, the rest are still occupied, you'll get your original ones back very soon. Everyone's like, huh? What the? And it turns out it was actually Tyler, the Diamond Charge Ranger, who was sent here by Grid Battle Force to rescue them. He lets them out of their cells and breaks their handcuffs. They try sneaking out, but they walk past a bunch of other people in prison, and they try grabbing at them and yelling, "Come on, I'm innocent, I didn't do anything, the Zangyak are full of it, come on. I did do wrong, but I don't want to be here either." All the noise alerts an X-Borg, who hits the alarm. So Tyler uses his Dino Charge blaster to hit a thing, which allows all the cells to be open, causing a prison break, which Tyler gets swept up in. Meanwhile, the Grid Battle Force found the Robo-Pirates and fight, retrieving the Ranger keys and the legendary Morphers, sending them over the Morphing Grid to the rest of the pirates. Transport. The pirates get their stuff just in time as X-Borgs arrive, before they were able to escape. Joe and Orion stay behind as RPM Blue and Gold. Meanwhile, outside, Tyler's there and he morphed, distracting the guards outside until, where's the rest of the team? He told them to wait out here. Whatever, so he has to fight them by himself, push them into a warehouse until there's the rest of the Dino Charge team, or at least the main five. They fight as the Dino Charge theme starts playing and they defeat Veyron. Meanwhile, Jailza is turning up the Grid Battle Force's Morphex towers and he tries sneaking into the Ranger Vault until Croaker sees this and starts yelling and alerting everyone. Then Betty, Roxy, and Blaze find out and try fighting off Jailza, alerting the rest of the team. With the pirates, they open a door into a pocket dimension created by Scrozzle, who also resurrected the Parasite twins. So Donnie goes Wild Force Black, and Luca goes Ninja Storm Yellow. Marvelous and Bailey escape, but go into a different pocket dimension through a different door, having to deal with the Messenger, going Megaforce, and then they also have to deal with Bluefur and Melkor. But Marvelous manages to get back to the door and escape, finding where Captain Chaku's held, finding out about Maka, who manages to retrieve a bunch of Morphex that Jailza was able to send over, and he mutates his armor. So Marvelous and him fight. He manages to ricochet some shots that free Chaku, who leaps, and Marvelous repays the favor and catches him, ensuring Chaku that it's gonna be okay, as he aims a blaster towards his metal foot and he starts shooting a circle around him, which breaks a hole into the pocket dimension, which starts a chain of the rest of the pirates doing the same. They all hop down with their grappling hooks, meeting up, and so that the Zangyak don't follow them the same way, Orion takes out the bazooka and loads a silver charge and a silver wave. Navi arrives driving the Red Galleon with the Grid Battle Force Rangers inside. Scrozzle and Robo-Blaze see this crawling out of the rubble, and Scrozzle immediately books it out of there. So Blaze summons the henchman. It's morphin' time! Pirate Ranger, set sail! Activate beast powers! Everyone morphs, and there's a roll call, and they team up, and Chaku decides to come out of retirement, and he morphs, fighting with the pirates in the GEB, until Marvac shows up, and he's about to show them a piece of his mind until Robo-Blaze shows the Reatomizer, resurrecting Robo-Roxy, Burden, and powered-up Ripcon. The pirates go to deal with Burden, but it gets smacked away as well as having to deal with powered-up Ripcon. So the pirates use Legendary Ranger mode, Ninja Steel Ranger Reveal, as the Grid Rangers deal with Burden, until the pirates tag back in and go Legendary Forever Black, taking out Burden, as the Grid Battle team takes on Robo-Roxy. Maku and Chaku deal with each other. A Robo-Blaze is still there, and Normal Blaze is sick of seeing his face being copied for evil, revealing that Steve finished their Morphers, so they become the Grid Battle Force Pink, Green, and Black Ranger. Jailza breaks out of his binds and fights the pirates with his multiple arms, but they manage to fight back using Forever Pink, Forever White, and of course the inevitable Forever Red. Everyone meets back up, and Steel, being Steel, thinks he can take on Marvac, which doesn't go well, especially because Jailza gets back up, and it turns out he got his own Megazord, worth every penny from Broodwing. So the Grid team have to go and deal with that, as the pirates stay behind to deal with Marvac, and they go, Hyperforce, ready, power up, showing physical suits to the Hyperforce team. Probably not in the same order this should be, but whatever. Because they still use old reliable Legendary Dream and a Red Wave. But Marvac chugs some of his root beer and he burps his way into being giant, saying that he loves Zombat root beer. Chaku wins, and then they summon all the Zords, but they're not doing super well. So Blaze summons the Beast X King, and Betty launched their new Frog Zord. Nate is very pleased seeing that it might still be a prototype, but it's working wonders. Him and Steve are going places. Betty helps takes out some bruisers, and Steve also reveals during this time he made some Ranger keys, sending them over and they're based off the Beast bots. Activating the keys sends Megazord Ranger keys to everyone, so they use them. Going by Morphin Megazord, Wild Force Megazord, Jungle Pride Megazord, Drive Max Megazord, and Mystic Force Megazord. Orion's just bouncing in his seat because this is super cool. Some past Beast Morpher mechs get resurrected, and it does become super awesome seeing all these different Megazords teaming up. Even Orion gets another one going Thunder Dragon, even some in the Red Lion to take out Marvac. And the Zangyak have finally been defeated. Maku gets captured by the rest of the metal heroes like Jiraiya. Shaku greatly apologizes for him and promises that he'll find a better replacement. Maybe his best friend Gavin. The pirates apologize to the Grid team apologizes to the pirates, but before they can really do anything, it turns out Donnie, Steel, and Orion become besties. And they come up with a way to celebrate the final defeat of the Zangyak by watching Super Sentai. And then they watch footage from not just Go Buster, but Dubusu Sentai Go Buster. And it's like a montage of the episodes. And it's like super weird and different. Like, Nate's this cool cowboy type. Nate really likes that, but he really does not like that they made Devon and Zoe's character like each other. And she's like, aw, like hugging him, ensuring that it's okay, kissing him. Betty's weirded out that they made the Green Ranger a hippo and a dude. But Donnie says, well, this came out before you got your powers. Roxy's really into her counterpart, and Blaze is kind of embarrassed by his. After all of that, Ben becomes head of security at Grid Battle Force. Steve also made some Ranger keys for Grid Battle Force. They continue doing hybrid energy of Morphex and green energy. The pirates say their goodbyes and head off into their next adventure. But then someone takes the reanimizer hiding in the shadows before the cleanup crew can take care of it. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.
I'm gonna give you the good, I'm gonna give you the bad, and I'm gonna give you the nerdy.